The cost of college education is rising at more than twice the rate of inflation. Having the right types of investments is important, but having the right type of investment vehicle is just as important. And today I'm going to talk about the 9 reasons why you should invest in a 529 plan. But before we begin, remember to like, subscribe, and share to our channel. And if there's a topic that you want us to cover, be sure to include it in the comments section below or send us a message, and we'll be sure to cover it in a future topic or future video. Also, if you're interested in hearing about the reasons why you should not invest in a 529 plan, be sure to look at our other video, the 5 reasons why a 529 plan may not be the right choice for you. The best reason to use a 529 plan to save for college is because of the tax-free growth. If the money is used for college and eligible related expenses, the money can grow tax-free, which is a huge savings. Now, a lot of people ask, what can the money be used for college? Well, the 529 plan is extremely flexible. It allows you to use the money in many, many different ways. For example, the money could be used to pay for room and board. It could be used to pay for books and supplies. It could be used to be paid for computers and internet connection. You can also use $10,000 of it in a lifetime to pay for student loan payments or student loan interest. And according to the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act that was passed in 2017, now you can use $10,000 a year of 529 plans tax-free for K through 12 education. Now, keep in mind, not all states conform to this K through 12 education expenditure that was passed on the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, but on a federal level, it is not includable in income. The second reason why I like 529 plans is because many states offer a tax deduction if you contribute to that state's 529 plan. So for example, Arkansas, Arizona, Missouri, Montana, and a whole list of other states offer tax deductions if you participate in that state's 529 plan. Now, keep in mind, you have to be a resident of that state. So if you are a Montana resident and you want to set up a 529 plan to get that tax deduction in Montana, you have to participate in the Montana 529 plan. The same applies if you're in Arizona or if you're in Missouri. States like California or other states don't offer tax deductions. So if you're a California resident, since you don't get a tax deduction for a California 529 plan, your best option is to look around to see what other states offer the best investment choices for 529 plans and choose those. Keep in mind, you're not going to get a tax deduction if you live in a state like California that does not offer you a tax deduction. The third reason why I like 529 plans so much is because it's actually the parent's asset or the grandparent's asset. So if you're a parent or a grandparent and you set up a 529 plan for your child or your grandchild, you're the one that actually owns that asset. So if you are a parent, and one of the benefits of doing that is because you're able to change the beneficiary, the child is actually the beneficiary of that account. So if I'm a parent and I set up a 529 plan for my child, and my child decides not to go to college for whatever reason, I can change the beneficiary to someone else, another child, a niece or a nephew, or I can also change the beneficiary to myself and still reap the benefits of the 529 plan. The fourth reason why I love 529 plans as a great way to save for college is because there's no income limitations. So unlike a IRA, where if your income is above a certain amount, you're not able to deduct an IRA contribution, or you're not able to put into a Roth IRA, the 529 plan does not have that income limitation. So you could make as much money as you want and still contribute to a 529 plan for your child or your grandchild. The fifth reason why you should consider a 529 plan is because the contribution limits are really, really high. So this is different than the income limitation, which there is none. The contribution limit is determined by each state's 529 plan, and they can range between $200,000 and $550,000. That means that you can put in a lot of money into a 529 plan and have that earmarked for college. Now, I just mentioned one of the other benefits of the 529 plan is the high contribution limit that you can put into each of the 529 plans. Now, keep in mind, according to the IRS, when you contribute to a 529 plan, it's considered a gift. And that falls under that $15,000 a year per person gift limitation. If you contribute more than that, then in general, you have to file a gift tax return, or you have to pay gift taxes. However, one of the benefits of the 529 plan is you can front load up to 5 years of a gift to a 529 plan. What that means is right now, if you as an individual put $15,000 or more than $15,000 into a 529 plan, you have to file a gift tax return. If you are married and two of you put it into a 529 plan, that's $30,000. But you can front load that so that way you can do 5 years worth of gifting into 1 year. So if it's one individual, 5 times 15 is $75,000 you can put into a 529 plan. Or if you're married, $150,000 into the 529 plan without triggering any gift taxes. That's a huge benefit. Now, keep in mind, if you do that, you have to make sure you're not gifting any more money to that same individual. Otherwise, you're going to incur gift taxes. Another great benefit of the 529 plan is that as of January 1st, 2018, you can use up to $10,000 a year of your 529 plans on K through 12 education. That was a result of the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. That means that if you've got a child that's in private school and you want to use those funds to pay for private school tuition, you can use up to $10,000 a year tax-free to pay for K through 12 education. Now, one thing to keep in mind if you are doing that is that not all states conform to that Tax Cuts and Jobs Act K through 12 limitation or exclusion. For example, if you're in a state like California and you use $10,000 of it to pay for private school, it may not be taxable to you on a federal level, but you have to adjust your California income to show that you use $10,000 and pay tax on that $10,000 and penalty on that $10,000 withdrawal of your 529 plan. So before you make that withdrawal, just keep in mind what state you're in and whether or not that state or your state conforms to the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act related to 529 plans. The next reason why the 529 plan is such a great vehicle is that it's very portable. So let's assume that you live in a state like California, you contribute to a 529 plan, and you decide you're going to move to Texas or to Ohio or to another state. You can easily move or transport that 529 plan either to that state, or you can keep it in California. It's extremely flexible and portable as far as that 529 plan is concerned. So a lot of people wrongly assume that just because they move states that they have to now change their 529 plan to that other state. And that's not true. The only time it would make sense for you to do that is if you move from one state that does not offer a tax deduction to a state that does offer a tax deduction. In those situations, you may want to open up a new 529 plan in that new state that you're in that offers a tax deduction and contribute to that state's plan. The last and final reason why a 529 plan is the best choice is because of the low cost. Many of the 529 plans out there have very, very low cost investment options and allows you to invest in index funds. You can either choose index funds based on a particular index, such as the S&P 500, or you can also choose an age-based investment that's also an index-based fund. The age-based investment is similar to like a target date fund where as a child is younger, it's more aggressive, and it becomes more and more conservative once they get to the age of 18 when they matriculate to go to college. Now, all these reasons I mentioned are phenomenal reasons to choose a 529 plan for Save for College. There's really no other vehicle out there that can beat a 529 plan's benefits, both tax-wise, flexibility on saving for college, because the cost of college is rising at such a high rate that you need some sort of investment vehicle that's going to provide you with that growth and the tax benefits of saving for college.